is, ladies and gents. It's my house. Come on. I'm excited. It's Monday. We're ready to rock and roll. We got another good show for you guys today. So let's get this thing off and rolling. Here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
The Business Bros Podcast was created for you. Learn from the business professionals who come to share their stories. Find out what's working in business and social media, what's hot and what's not, straight from the mouths of successful entrepreneurs out there doing the real work. And now, welcome to another episode of
Business Bros. All right, Em, let's do this thing, dude. Let's drop the heat.
All right, all you business pros out there, before we jump into the show, just a quick reminder to please subscribe on whichever platform it is that you're listening to us on today. Give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe, and drop a review. Help other like-minded business owners find value from our awesome guests while we rise up in those podcast rankings. We'll sincerely appreciate every single one of you for it, and if you want to be a guest on the show, we'd love to have you on to learn from you. Go to www.businessbros.biz, schedule your time, and don't forget to follow us on all our social medias at Business Bros Pod. All right, everybody, we're so excited and honored to bring another incredible guest to the Business Bros Pod. Today's guest is a serial entrepreneur with a wildly successful track record. In addition to being an investor and advisor to multiple startups, our guest has over a decade of industry experience in business management, real estate, mining, and information technology. He's spent nearly the last decade revolutionizing the designing experience for businesses of all size, working closely with his brother, first to build and now to maintain India's first graphic design platform. Through their combined efforts, our guest and his business bro are rendering an efficient customer experience combined with world-class quality in a cost-efficient solution. To top it off, they're also doing their part to get much-needed oxygen to hospitals in the heavily affected areas in India. Stupid COVID. To tune in today to hear how our guest has built a centralized database for designers, learn about his journey to being recognized as the rising entrepreneur of 2019 and 35 under 35 in 2020, and how you can join more than 200,000 users to collaborate and blow your next business design piece out of the water. Joining us today from Designhill out of Wilmington, Delaware, welcome to the show, Rahul Aggarwal.
Raul, welcome to the program, my friend. Man, you got quite a resume, dude. That's pretty good. How long have you been, James said 10 years. How long is the entrepreneur bug bit you?
I think ever since I was born, I've been born in an entrepreneurial family. I'm a third generation entrepreneur. I think that's all that I've heard my father and grandfather speak about. So I think entrepreneurship is something that we live and we breathe.
So you were raised an entrepreneur. So you had no other choice. This was the field that you were going to go into. So of all the different places you could have gone into entrepreneurship, why did you pick where you're at today? Tell me a little bit about that journey.
I think, we come from a traditional business in the sense that, real estate or mining, and these are something that have been done for decades, right? For me and my brother, Varun, who's also the co-founder of Designhill, we wanted to get into technology. We wanted to solve larger problems or, global problems per se. And so when we started out and, we both actually were facing different issues. I joined a family business and I was having a hard time getting our branding done, getting it consistently, created by designers or agencies. And my younger brother, Varun, he's always been a very creative guy, and he was having the same issues on the other side where he was not able to find good clients and when he was freelancing. So when we got together, we realized that this was something that was a problem not only in one country but all over the world. And that's when we decided that we wanted to do this. We wanted to solve this problem altogether, and we ended up creating Designhill, which is a creative marketplace for all things design and print, for businesses, small, big, individual homemakers, anybody who's looking for any kind of design can get it done on our platform.
So let's talk about that, because an entrepreneur, there's a lot of people who think the very first thing I need to do when I'm going to get into business is create my logo, create my website, create all this colorful, schemy stuff. And once you realize that, once you've gotten into business a few times, that's actually one of the least important things that you need to do at the very beginning. You went and decided that you wanted to tackle a large problem. How did you identify that this was a problem that needed solving, and how did you identify what aspect of that problem? Because creating content, design, that can be very big. How'd you focus in on that?
See, if you just think about it, design is omnipresent. It's part of everything that we do, even as entrepreneurs, as business owners, as marketing professionals. Design, whether it's your social media, whether it's your website, whether it's your logo, your branding, packaging, menu cards, anything. It requires design to be done, and design is actually very, very integral to everything that an entrepreneur or a business owner would do. And we realize that without good with the changing times, without good branding, without good design, it's very difficult for any business to really stand out. To make an impression on their customers, or to really distinguish themselves from being an average, business to a professionally run business. And that's when we realized that, because there were so many aspects to design, having a marketplace that can cater to all different categories. We offer more than 100 design categories on our platform across maybe 400 or 500 different industries. That's how big the scope of design work is, for businesses. And anything under the sun, which can be from as simple as logos to brochures, websites, packaging, even merchandise. And we've ventured into printing services. So we offer everything that can be designed on our platform to be printed. So whether that's flyers, T-shirts, brochures, or mugs with your branded merchandise, you can have anything designed and printed on our platform.
In today's market, people are going more towards that freelance type of work, because let's face it, in a post-COVID world, the world essentially has shrunk. We're able to communicate, and we're much more comfortable communicating online across the entire globe. So, I have VAs that are in the Philippines, and that kind of helps alleviate some of the workload that we have to do here in the US, because in the US it's a much more expensive cost. How does a freelancer or a business benefit with working with Designhill?
I think it works in a very similar manner, but the only difference is that we have designers from over 100 countries. Now, what that really does for businesses or business owners or anybody who's trying to use the platform is that it gives them a great array of options. Because people coming from different backgrounds have different experiences, different skill sets. One of the most I think one of the most successful services that we have is a crowdsourcing service, where actually business owners can come in and they can post a design contest on the platform, and multiple designers actually participate from all over the world. And customers are able to get anything between 40-50 designs within a week, that they're custom made for them and they can choose from. So that's one of the services that we offer, and it works really well because different people have a different perspective, a different take on a design brief. And more often than not, we've seen customers get really surprised with the kind of creativity that comes through. And some of the concepts are way different from what they were actually envisaging, but they end up buying them, right? So it's really great, having a pool of creative talent at your disposal at a very affordable price. Is something that technology and the online marketplaces like ours make it happen, make it possible.
That crowdsourcing sounds really intriguing, because you're getting information and points of views from a lot of different people.
Yeah.
So as the customer, what does that look like? If I was to come and say, okay, look, I need to design a logo, I kind of got an idea. I'll give you an example. The Business Bros logo that we have, right? Literally, we took a picture, James and I. It's a weird picture, right? It was like a selfie, like an ugly little picture of the both of us, right? And we basically went on Fiverr and we're like, hey, we need help creating a logo. But we had to go individually to different people to get that done. The way you're designing it, the way you described it was really different. So from an entrepreneur standpoint, from somebody who's getting started, what's the pathway to work with Designhill? What can we expect?
I mean, it's really, really easy, to be honest with you. All you have to do is, like, we because we've gone so much into detail into the kind of questions that need to be asked to a customer. We make the process very interactive. The way it works is that we ask a customer the moment they choose the option to do crowdsourcing on the platform, because we have multiple services. You can still hire a single designer, or you can even use DIY tools on the platform. So if you go with the crowdsourcing option, all you have to do is you basically have to fill out a few questions. We ask you to choose from a certain number of designs that we show you, because end of the day, a brief is much better if it's interactive, it's visual. We ask you to choose some colors and some icons, and eventually a contest is launched. The moment your contest is launched on the platform, multiple designers who can view your brief will go through the design and will start submitting designs. An average contest runs from about 3 days to 7 days. Within that period of time, I mean, within a few hours, you start getting designs in from different designers from all over the world, right? Because we have designers from all over the world, and you can interact with them, you can give them feedback, you can rate the designs. And designers are super responsive. They get back to you on the changes that are requested, or if you don't like a design, you may just tell them you reject the design. And that way, a customer may end up, and we've seen that, if a customer is responsive, they end up even with 200 options. And eventually, they can run a poll, they can select the top 5, top 10 designs, they can show it to their family, friends on via a special link that is created, a unique URL, which they can share on Facebook, Twitter, or even on email with their friends and family, and everybody can vote. And eventually, they can actually see which design got voted the best, and if they're confused about it and stuff. And it's just not the logo that can be done with the same designer. Then they can end up getting their entire brand identity with their letterheads, visiting cards, brochures, or anything that they want. I mean, it's a complete ecosystem that has been created now, that once somebody comes in, they can actually forget about anything related to design, and they can just leave it to us or the designers on the platform, and they can always pick and choose. They can go with one service. Sometimes they just want to work with one designer, they can hire another designer and just get this stuff done, like something, probably people work like on Upwork or Fiverr. And if they want something to be done DIY, I mean, we've built DIY tools like custom t-shirt printing, custom merchandise printing, or custom branding tools, and they can just use the tool and design something themselves and use it as well.
There's so much that goes into what you've created. I mean, just the one crowdsourcing platform, that's just one of the ways that people can design things. Walk me through the process of you and your brother sitting down and coming up with this idea. There's so many different aspects and avenues that people can use now in your space. But when you first got started, what was that like, where you take a grand scope and then narrow it down? Now, where did you start?
So we started with crowdsourcing, and that's why it's been the most successful of our services. But when we started out, it wasn't as big. Obviously, we didn't have as many designers. We were facing the classic chicken and egg problem. And how we launched was something, I mean, as I said earlier, I'm a chemical engineer by profession. I'm not a computer science engineer. I didn't know how to code anything. For me, it was still, coding and developing a website is something which is very difficult. But my brother is a computer science engineer, and we when we saw that it was a problem that everybody used to face, because business owners would not find the right designer or the agency to do work with, or even today, if you work with a single person, you would not get as many options as you would like to. And more often than not, people get discontent with the kind of service that they get when they work in a short space of time with a single person, right? It's always a hit and miss. And that's why we started crowdsourcing, because crowdsourcing really gives people multiple options, that they can choose from, and that's something that is very unique to the design space. You may not, because crowdsourcing doesn't work everywhere. right? But it does work in the design space because, say for example, somebody posts a contest on a platform for about $200. Now, $200 may not be a huge sum of money for a professional company in United States, but $200 is a huge amount of money for somebody who's living out of Philippines or Brazil or some other place and who's doing freelancing as a designer. For them, they can, it's almost like a month's living, right? And that connect, that enables crowdsourcing to actually allow a set of designers to participate and create and submit unique concepts to customers. And I think that's why we went ahead with it when we started out, because crowdsourcing, it works really well. It's very efficient, very interactive, and to be honest with you, we offer 100% money back guarantee on that, and we have a 97% plus success rate with that service. So it's a sure go when you want to get something designed and you don't have clarity, or you don't have you already have a designer that you want to work with.
I love that concept too, because the way you laid it out, right? $200 here in the U.S. probably not a lot. $200 in the Philippines or in other parts of the world, a ton of money, right? If you're a freelancer, is it as open for freelancers to come in and work with you, or is there like a certain process that they have to go through so that maybe they can bid on these available jobs?
So there is a process. I mean, the platform is open for all designers actually to join, but to participate, obviously there is a certain level of vetting that we do, and there's a certain level of screening that takes place, and then there's an onboarding process. And we've created rating systems. We've based on customer feedbacks, designers keep getting rated, and their eligibility keeps increasing on in terms of the size and the volume of projects that they can do, right? So somebody who's been on the platform for some time and he's been rated 4 stars or above, now they can only participate in any contest or any project which is going to be above $500. So they can't participate in anything under like that. So you have to work for it. But it's open for a lot of designers to actually set up their portfolios to actually offer services if somebody wants to hire them one to one, and also to participate in low value projects.
So when we do, let's say I submit for a logo, I do, I put out a contest. Do I ever get the feeling like I'm going to be overwhelmed here? I mean, you said to review like 200 logos. Sometimes, I mean, I can go to 7-Eleven and go to the soda fountain machine, and there's so many options. I'll stand there and not know which one to pick. Do we have like limitations on those sorts of things, or does the consumer decide, I want the first 50 to come in, or whatever it's going to be?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, 200 is not the norm or the average. It's only when a customer is super engaged and interactive. On an average, we depending on the package, you get about 20, 40, 50 designs, and that also comes in over a period of 6-7 days. So if for example, if you're not responsive at all, and designers are submitting designs to your project, but you're not giving feedback to them, or you're not actually doing anything till the time the time period runs out, so you'll not get that many designs, because even the designers feed off on the energy and the sort of feedback that the customers are giving, isn't it? So they know that, okay, maybe they're just waiting for everything to come in, and then they'll decide or choose what they want to do. So they'll not submit more than 1 or 2 options each, and on an average you'll get about 10 to 15 designers who participate.
When people do create a job like that, when we create a contest, is there a minimum amount that we're creating a contest by, or is the dollar amount that you set for the contest indicative of what kind of results you're going to get?
Yeah, so we have packages, for each category there are 4 packages, and they're distinguished between basis on their price, the visibility that their project will get on the platform, because we have a lot of projects that are always ongoing and are being posted all the time. So we are almost like you, because there is a listing page where all the contests get listed, and if you pay a certain higher amount, then obviously your contests would get listed slightly higher up, and it'll be visible for a longer period of time for designers to see, explore, and identify. But again, I mean, the lowest budget start up at about $200, which is very decent. for a 7-day contest to get about 30-40 designs in. And that's also the most popular. But there are some we've clubbed and we've created some packages with brand identity that may start at 399, or with logos and business cards and stuff which are 299. So there's a lot of flexibility given to the customers to actually pick and choose, and they can also customize if they want to, and it works really well.
Every business has problems as they start up, as they grow. What were some of your biggest problems when you're first getting started? How'd you overcome them?
So, problems are, I think, a part of business, and you face problems almost every day, isn't it? I mean, it's not something that you can run away with. But when we started out, we had a huge problem because design is not something that people have been used to working or getting done online, right? So the first and the biggest obstacle is, how do you make people trust you as a service to deliver something which they've always done one-to-one in person with other designers. And I think that was the biggest challenge for us. For that, we really had to show a human face to our website. We had to put out testimonials from our customers in terms of videos that were always there. We had to create an online presence in terms of having our customers post testimonials and reviews about our service on third-party websites, because anybody can post on their own website, right? So,
Yes.
we encourage them to actually post on sites like Trustpilot or Jabber, or whatever third-party review sites, and also to create an online presence. We've been very active on social media channels, because these days you have to understand that customers are very, very intelligent. Somebody who's going to pay you $200 or some more is going to research and look into you. So you have to be present everywhere they go, and I think that's one of the key fundamentals that any business who's coming in and who's looking to start needs to establish, that they need to be present on all the different social media platforms, or have to create an omnipresent sort of a view for their customers.
Of all those marketing things that you've mentioned, the testimonials, the social media, which one have you found that's brought you the most success, that's brought you the actual conversion that you're looking for?
I think it was a small hack, and it's related to our testimonials and reviews that we've received. So because we are a platform, we know at what different times in the user journey a customer or a user is really happy with our service, right? Because we ask them to give feedback on designs, and to rate the designs, or to give star ratings to designers and stuff. So whenever we see a customer giving a 4-star rating or a 5-star rating to a particular design, or or whenever they're finishing their project on the website, to a testimonial to us, we actually show a pop-up, and it has my face on it, and I'm requesting the customer to actually go on and post the same thing on ABC websites, which are third-party websites. And because with a sort of a sentimental message saying that it would really help us grow and scale our business, because if they could also post it on Trustpilot or this, and the content that they already posted on the platform is already copy pasted on their clipboard. So all they really have to do is click on the link and press Control V or Command V, and it gets done, right? So we just made it easy for them, and we identified the exact moments where we could actually get them to post these testimonials for us. And I think that's important, because if the customer's already left your service or your office or website, and to chase them after that, to send them emails and messages and phone calls and requesting them to do it, then it gets a bit harassing, and they might not do it, and it just gets lost in the way. But in the moment when they're just happy with you, and they just realize that you're offering a great service, if you ask them, request them, I think it works really well. And that's one of the reasons why we have so many testimonials on all different platforms from our customers, and it builds a lot of credibility and trust with your future customers, if you have that.
That is absolutely true. And what a great advice. I mean, you literally looked through your process and said, when is my client the happiest? When are they most satisfied with our particular process? And then you did something that a lot of people don't do. You automated the process. So you made it so that at these critical points in your sales process or in the customer's journey, you gave them the opportunity to document. That is super important because, I mean, we design our show very much the same way. Like, one of the questions I'm going to ask you at the end here is to give us a testimony of your thoughts of being on the show. And we designed it on purpose that way. That's exactly what we're doing. Walk me through some of these automations. Was it part of the coding? Did you have to use third-party software? What were some of these automations that you put in place to help people get those testimonials?
First of all, because we are a technology company, so we built everything in-house. But it wasn't that difficult anyway. So I'll just walk you through a particular scenario. So imagine a customer, he's just used a service and he's just given our designer a feedback. Now we can see what kind of rating he's given. We give every customer an option to give rate from 1 to 5. 5 being the highest, the most satisfied that they are with our service. And if we see that they've given anything which is 4 or over, right? The moment they submit that, it gets registered in our database, and automatically on the screen within a second, a pop-up will generate on the website where they can see, as I said, my face, and there'll be a quote from me thanking them for using our service, and appreciating that, and also requesting them to go on and post the same message. We're not asking them to write something new. We're not even asking them to make an effort for that. We just say that we've already copied your message on your clipboard. All you have to do is click on the link, and the link is also for not for third-party website, but our page on that third-party website, right? So it'll be trustpilot.com/designhill, and we request them to just click on the link and just post using the command, and that's all it'll be done because it's already copied on the clipboard. And and I offer them a discount coupon as well for the next time that they're going to use our service, which is also auto generated at the same time. So it's all automated, and the moment they click on one of the links, they can just go on, and within we've just made it so easy for them that within 5 seconds they can actually get done with giving us a testimonial. And why would they not do it? If they're happy with our service, if they've given us feedback, and if they've already written a testimonial for us, all we are asking them to do it to just copy and paste the same thing on a third-party website, for which we already copied it on the clipboard. We've given them the link for it, and we've also incentivized them slightly without saying that if you do it, we'll give you.
Yeah.
We already have given the code or a discount code the next time they use our service. So it works well.
Yeah, that is some powerful stuff. And I think the automation is the key there. It's the work that you put in ahead of time, because, again, it's not that they weren't happy with your service, but if you don't capture them in that moment when they just have completed it, getting them to come back and do it later, that's a lot tougher. I mean, it's not as easy to do. All right, Rahul, I mean, such great information. There's so many people who are in this position where they need to get some help with their logo design, where they need some help with design stuff in general. How can people get a hold of you, or how can they get work done if they want to get that sort of work taken care of as soon as possible?
Sure. I mean, we are an online website. Anybody can come in and visit us at www.designhill.com. Also, we are there on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and we one of the amazing things is that we offer 24/7 customer support. So anybody who has any questions about a service, they can just go to our website, click on a small icon on the bottom right of the screens. A chat will pop up. They can send a message to one of our customer executives. There's a toll-free number they can give a call on, and they will be happy to answer any queries that they have. And and as I said, we offer 100% money back guarantee on most of our services, right? So what's the harm in trying?
All right, ladies and gents, you know what my favorite part about interviewing entrepreneurs is? All of them have a product or service that'll help solve a particular situation or obstacle that you're facing in your own business. This is one of them. Don't know how to use Photoshop, don't know how to use Canva, don't want to get started, takes too much time, don't have the time to do that sort of stuff. This is exactly why you want to go to designhill.com and check out what they have to offer. Dude, I think it would be awesome. Spend $200 and get 20, 30, 40, even 50 different people sending you designs for your logo. You don't even know what kind of designs can come out. You can be something completely different. And Rahul has laid it out for us so that you can take care of those things as easy as possible. And if you like the designer, if you like that design that they made for you, you can use the same person to do most of all the work that you need done. Check that box, move on, and go do the things that are more important to you. Rahul, before we head out, we are a testimonial company. We do love to do that. And I was really interested in what you were talking about in the automations. But can you do me a favor? Let me know what your experience was like on the Business Bros podcast.
Sorry, I just missed that question.
What was your experience like on the show?
It was amazing. It was amazing, really. I mean, I had a great time speaking to you today, and it was just a lot of fun. And I'm happy to share, whatever information I could, and I hope it was valuable for your listeners.
It was definitely valuable for me, which means it must have been valuable for the listeners. All right, ladies and gents, designhill.com. Make sure you guys check it out. Rahul, thank you very much for coming on the show. Ladies and gents, that's what it's all about. Capture, that one thing that I learned that was like inevitable. I mean, not inevitable. That was amazing was, well, actually two things. One, the crowdsource. Holy moly, that is super awesome. I mean, to get multiple people to come and give you input on the logo that you want, that's powerful. And then number two, automate those testimonials. Look, if you need help getting that stuff done, capturing the video testimonials, that's what we're here for. That's what we do. Look, you are already doing good work for your customers and your clients. The problem is you don't capture that on video. So they go home, they tell their friends and family for about 5 minutes, and then it's over. Use video and capture that so that you can use their marketing over and over and over again. Send it to customers who are on the fence. Put it on your social media feeds. Create Facebook ads and start getting new clients. That's what the power of a testimonial does. And Rahul nailed it. You can automate the process. It's even better, much more success. He even said it's the best converting thing that he's done for marketing in his company. All right, ladies and gents, get your testimonials. Go to businessbros.biz and get those squared away. And again, crowdsourcing your logo. That's the way to go. Designhill.com. We'll catch you guys again mañana. Peace. And we're out.
Thank you for listening to the Business Bros Podcast. Are you looking to get more clients or to increase your income? Hernan, the business bro, can help you generate referrals through the power of podcasting. And James, the insurance bro with Pipeline Insurance, can help you effectively add insurance to your existing business. If you are ready to create wealth today and generational wealth for tomorrow, email businessbros@seeusfirst.com to schedule a free consultation or join the Business Bros Network, www.businessbros.biz.